Hey guys, it's the Real China Sister, and today I'm going to be telling you about how to live in New York City on a budget. I decided to do this video because a lot of my friends that live outside of New York and some of my friends that even live in New York have asked me, how do I afford to live here with it being so expensive? There are actually a lot of ways to save money while living in New York. The first tip I'm going to give you guys on how to live in New York City on a budget is to walk. Or even public transportation, that's a cheap way to get around. Ubers and Lyfts and even cabs, it's mad expensive. There's literally buses and trains everywhere in New York, and it literally takes you everywhere in New York. There's no reason to spend like $50-something, $60-something on an Uber ride or a cab ride. My second tip for you guys and how to live in New York City on a budget is if you have groceries, if you have food at home, eat at home. I know it's super hard. You know, New York City has a lot of great restaurants. You know, you got Tao, you got all these great sushi places. It's really hard. But if you have food at home, it's way more frugal to eat inside the house. Or even if you're going to eat out once a week, that'll be your one night that you eat out. Fine, if that's what you want to do. But try to eat in most of the days. Even if you work out in New York like myself, I think it's also frugal to bring your lunch to work. You know, it's very expensive eating in New York. You're going to spend mad money a week eating lunch in New York. The third tip I'm gonna give you guys is if you want to live in a really nice area in New York City and you kind of can't afford it, I do suggest getting a roommate. That way, you know, you're not paying for rent and groceries and all these different things by yourself, and you're still able to live in a nice neighborhood. Me personally, the roommate thing is not for me. I kind of learned that in college. I like to have my own space, but if you are trying to live in a nice area and you can't afford it in New York, get a roommate. You know, you can get one of your friends, or they have these online things where you fill out a roommate application and they put you with someone they feel like might match with you. Also, if you go online looking at roommates, there are people that put ads up saying, hey, looking for a roommate, and they describe themselves. Sometimes they'll put a picture up. You know, that's another way to find a roommate in New York City if that's what you want to do. My fourth tip for you guys and how to live in New York City on a budget is to do what you can afford. I know going to brunches and stuff like that is a huge trend right now, and people like to constantly be out spending money on alcohol and stuff. And you know, some people don't got it like that. And if you don't got it like that, do not spend your money. You know, there's a lot of things to do in New York City for free. You know, you got Central Park, you got Bryant Park, you got the Bronx Zoo. You know, some of the museums in Manhattan on certain days, they let you in for free. You know, there's a certain level of willpower you have to gain while living in New York City if you're trying to be on a budget. You know, you could go out and spend all your money if you want. When you go home, you're the one that's left with that financial burden, not the people you was just out with. So if you're bored and you don't got the money to go out right now with all your friends, or you don't got the outfit or whatever to go to brunch and you're looking for something to do, look up the museum schedule. See when they're letting people in for free. Go to Bryant Park. There's always something going on in Bryant Park. There are a million things in New York City to do for free. My fifth and final tip to you guys for living in New York City on a budget is if for any reason you have to get a hotel room, don't get a hotel room, get an Airbnb instead. You know, the hotels in Manhattan are unfortunately ridiculously priced. So I think it's more frugal, you know, if we're talking about budgeting and stuff. It's definitely cheaper to get an Airbnb over a hotel if you didn't already know that. You know, you could find some really nice Airbnbs in New York for a low price, $250, even $1 something sometimes. So those are my 5 tips for you guys in living in New York City on a budget. I know a lot of my friends are going to look at this and be like, girl, what do you know about saving on a budget? Because you're always spending your money. We are all work in progress, so I don't even want to hear it. I'm going to do more videos like this about my experience living in New York City. So make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, like this video, and comment below. See you guys soon.